some NFL offseason moves.
Let's get it, man. Let's get it.
NFL, the NFL has been it's been a exciting offseason to say the least. I think people compared it to a Madden franchise. You've been seeing a lot, man. First off, you got I think did Russ started off? Russell Wilson headed to Pittsburgh, started off
Yeah,
the frenzy of what
yeah,
was
getting
going on.
to play for Pittsburgh, man. Denver paying this contract out, man. Pittsburgh gave him a bag of Lay's chips to come play quarterback.
Oh man. Well, yeah, yeah, definitely got him for a great price right now. First off, were you surprised at how Denver and the organization decided to cut him and eat that cap?
What I would say is, even though Russell had a better year this year on the Sean Payton, from what I'm hearing from guys that played with Russell, man, he's not like a team guy, man. Which it came off hard to believe, but they
Yeah.
say he does a lot of stuff for the camera, man, and I can kind of see that now just based off how people are reacting. Like, you know what I'm saying? Seeing stuff on the sidelines. It's like, man, you don't really see that nowhere else with people. You know what I'm saying? You might see the quarterbacks get on people, but you don't see people raising up at the quarterback, man. That was just eye-opening, man. And to the Broncos, man, to get that, you know what I'm saying, how coach would say that cancer out of the locker room, it was worth it to them. You know what I'm
No,
saying? They pretty much go buy get a quarterback this year, you know what I'm saying? And he'll be, on some cheap. So they'll pretty much be paying him paying Russell his money, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So to them it was worth it, man. And they wanted to move in a different direction. Russell had 2 years, man. They didn't really see the improvement that they wanted or they thought they should, even though he did improve. Um, but yeah, I think they made the right decision. I like Russell Wilson for the Steelers. I was actually thinking it would be the Steelers or Atlanta. I think
Yeah.
Atlanta will get him on a cheap 1 year deal to see how he was and draft a quarterback in this draft, sit behind him. That's kind of what the Steelers are doing with Justin Fields, man. Now, for people who've been watching and tuned in, you guys know how I felt about Justin Fields coming possibly to Atlanta, either him or Cam Newton. I like the move for him playing under Tomlin. Um,
Yeah.
I like him playing for black head coach, man. It's gonna make him look good. Question is, will Justin Fields see the field this year, or will he get to sit and learn? What would be most beneficial for him? I think he needs time. I think he needs to sit behind a guy and learn, and then come back that next year, just refresh, get a restart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, so I like the move that he does for them. I wasn't a huge Pittsburgh Steelers fans. I was going for him for Mike Tomlin, but I will be tuned in to him more, just to see how that situation goes. Man, I've been seeing people talk about, oh, they go run a two quarterback system and all that. I don't really believe in that. Just
Nah,
been
man. Nah,
quarterback
that's not happening. That's not happening. This the NFL, man. This is not college football. More so the Auburn Tigers.
So yeah, man. I think Russell will start it off, and I think Russell will play decent enough to keep the job. I've been hearing
Yeah,
guys say lose about a certain game. I think he'll have a decent enough job
for
time to
sure.
keep the job season, and then somebody else will probably get him in there and move on with Justin Fields.
Whew. So somebody else will pick up Russ. That's kind of what you're thinking long term. Man, to start off first, I can't believe you got some inside guys, man, inside connects who say Russ, not really a team guy. Like you said, that's surprising. I wouldn't think that at all. Obviously a little different, his lifestyle and family life is very public, which is why Atlanta would not have been the atmosphere for a Russell Wilson. Not at all. You can't even think about that, man. With how social media is right now, it's just a different state, bro. So
Mhm.
couldn't have went to Atlanta. Um, as far as the team dynamic with the Broncos, bro, I think it started at the top. Early on, you get Sean Payton lashing out against Russ. When things go bad, man, you know how it is. You got to find the blame guy, Jared Judy. I think a lot of people was trying to point the finger at him as well. Wasn't working out, him and Russ. Again, you got to find the blame guy. So I think Russ was really that with the Broncos. How was that the right move? You got Jared Stidham behind him. Does Jared Stidham make the Broncos better than Russell Wilson? Not at all. not at all. And again, nothing against Jared Stidham, but Russ is a proven winner, bro. So um definitely think that was a bad move for the Broncos. But I say he's a winner, but I don't know if I like the fit with Pittsburgh, bro. I think that locker room, and again, love Tomlin, but look what was going on last year with a Kenny Pickett, with um um Rudolph, Mason Rudolph when he came in. Um, it was a lot going on in that locker room. I think Pickens was upset visibly, when you talk about relationship with quarterbacks, the non-blocking deal. So man, I worry that if Russ go in there and hey, if Russ come in with Pittsburgh and throw 2 picks game one, it's over. Like it's a lot of pressure, I think, on Russ right now, especially with Justin Fields behind you. Who would have thought that Justin Fields and Russ would be in the same locker room? That's the quarterback room.
Not
Months
me.
ago, nobody would have thought about your quarterback room would be Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. I don't see it. And the reason why, if you got Justin Fields in your locker room right now, he's your starter. Who's the better quarterback? Um, I think it's Justin Fields. I think he's played what is this, year 4 for
That
Justin Fields?
year going into year 4.
Man, listen, it's time to rock and roll. It's time to rock and roll. We don't need a year to sit out. This ain't a Jordan Love type situation. Um, So Justin Fields will probably be starting soon, within the season. Don't see a reason to let him sit back and learn from Russ, honestly. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I hope it works out. I hope it works out, but I think it's gonna work with Justin Fields more so than with Russ, bro.
Mm.
So I'm with you. Russ will be out of there. He'll try to find another home. But again, where would that home be? Could this be another Cam Newton situation where Russ time is honestly coming to an end, possibly. And again, that's not a failure or a knock to Russ's career, bro. Um, had a great career playing some good ball. It's just, where the league is right now.
Well, yeah, man, his time is definitely coming to an end, man. It's going to be a new crop of guys, even though these last couple draft classes of quarterbacks really haven't lived up to the hype.
Yeah,
Um, that Trevor Lawrence class, which was Justin Fields, Mac Jones, Trey Lance, those guys haven't really lived up to the hype that they had behind it. Uh, I think those guys are thrown into bad situations, man.
yeah,
Honest, the guys who come in like a Jordan Love and a Patrick Mahomes, they get to sit and learn, man. I think they do a whole lot better, and they have offensive minded coaches. People don't understand that matters, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just this is not Madden where you just pick a play and everybody can run it, man. It's a lot that goes into a development, man. It's a reason that it's NFL. It's a step above college, and
yeah,
people got to understand that, man. And those guys are young, coming in young. Now it's a little different now with this COVID year and all that. Guys are coming in older, 24, 25. So it's a little different from a guy like Justin Fields who left early
yeah,
at at a 21. You know what I'm saying? He's the same age. He's got Lamar Jackson. He
yeah,
got to see, you know what I'm saying? These guys who sit for a year and get to learn and speed and all this. It's different, man. It's different checks at quarterback, man. You got to learn this protection, man. It's just I just feel like they do a whole lot better, man. I feel like they do a whole lot better. And if you can get in a situation like they're talking about this year draft class, they're talking about another loaded quarterback class, and
yeah.
they was talking about a guy that could sneak into the first round with Michael Penix.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Penix can go to a late team like a Seattle or I would have said somebody like the Broncos and sat behind Russ or something. If he can go to a team like that and sit a year, bro, he's gonna do better than the guys that are going to the Washington Commanders,
Yeah,
the Chicago Bears, teams like that who got to come in and start right now and
yeah,
already an organization that is not good.
yeah. No, I'm with you, bro. The league is different. When you think about just how complex the defenses is, when you think about Van Gorder, when Van Gorder came to the Auburn Tigers, bro, 2012, and he was our defensive coordinator, the defense complexity, how difficult it was to learn plays, to know what to do, you get what I'm saying, is an entirely different ball game, from disguise to fire zones to everything else, man. So when you asking these kids to come from the college game, which we both know is very much what is it zone read RPOs, which is that's what's a part of the league now. It's just a different ball game though. To take that offense to transition, first year quarterback playing against these grown men, especially on that front seven.
Yes, sir.
That front seven is an entirely different ball game versus college. You get what I'm saying? So
Uh,
it's definitely rough on them guys. Man, my opinion, especially on the quarterback class, we both and it's always like this. Your top guys, everything will work itself out. You get what I'm saying? You're gonna have some guys get drafted second round, third round, fourth round that will have a better career than these guys who go top 10. Or first round quarterback. So um, that's just a part of the game, man. Being able to go to a good spot, being able to develop, learn, get the grasp of everything, bro. Man, you know who so takes me to this. Who is the best quarterback in this class? This upcoming class. When you think about who's coming out, who do you have as the best quarterback 2024 draft class?
I'm gonna have the best quarterback. I'm gonna go either Michael Penix or Jaden Daniels.
So the first two, you have Caleb Williams coming off Drake May. First two, you don't think those are the top two guys?
I don't, man. I seen what they did in college. I mean, they had some good runs, but I mean, last year Caleb went 7-5.
Yeah,
He came Utah. I mean, he went 7-5. And I know the Pac-12 got a little bit harder than it used to be, but I mean, USC got athletes now. And you know what I'm saying? You running with that, you should
yeah,
be able to do something. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So to say that and then come to the Bears and think you gonna do something, they got Detroit Lions and Minnesota Vikings in your conference and shit, Packers.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, man. We ain't playing against, you know what I'm saying, no disrespect, Colorado and Arizona states. And like this is like you said, these are grown men, man. And
yeah.
going 75 against them, what make you think that you can win with these guys? You
Which
know what I'm saying?
man, which makes me going back to the league, man, and what these organizations. If you was the GM of the Bears, is there any way that you allow Justin Fields to leave to draft Caleb Williams as the number one pick? Like,
You got to look at it both on both sides, man. It's a new GM. Um, he's coming in and he's been making some good moves. I will say, as far as trade wise, man, he's been finding some guys that I don't think they really know. The Carolina Panthers, what they gave up, you know what I'm saying, for that pick is just crazy, man. And then
with
they end up
DJ Moore.
just what they gave up for him, you know what I'm saying, was just crazy, to get him off and get that pick for next year, the number one pick off the Bears. The Bears had it last year.
Yep.
What they gave up, man, he's brought in some good draft stock. And the thing is, what's crazy is all Justin Fields. Justin Fields has gotten better every year,
Yeah.
but Justin Fields hasn't had a true number one receiver until last year with DJ Moore, and he had his best year. Why not get him weapons? They've been getting the Bears weapons, bro. Like through the year, they traded for a Sweat out of Washington. They just signed somebody else off the D line, man. That was a good pickup. I want to say he came from either the Jets or the Eagles. I had to look back, man. It's been so many transactions,
Yeah.
but they signed Keenan Allen.
Yep.
Um, they signed Swift, which I think
Hmm.
was a great pickup.
Yeah. Great
Every
pickup.
run and receive out the backfield.
Yep.
Um, they're just making things easier for the quarterback that's just gonna come in when they could have just did that for Justin Fields, man. Just got on weapons, man. They want him to be Superman, quarterback, running back, everything.
And
You
he
know what I'm
did
saying?
it. Shit, he did it. He was Superman for the Bears. I think you saw it with the response, that the organization, the fans, I mean, that they gave him. You know what I'm saying? Just reaching out. They I forgot what it was. It was something they was trying to do for Justin Fields, even though he's not even with the Bears anymore. But man, my take on it is no way. Is no way I give up Justin Fields, man. I think he didn't play bad at all. Great talent. Um and I feel like, man, a lot of them games he went out and went to war. You get what I'm saying? You could see it if it was as a quarterback, bro, running 14 times a game, like man, he was going out there competing, bro.
Yeah, man, he ain't had much to work with, man. He
Yeah,
had
dog.
so. And it's a sad situation, but hey, man, it's God's plan, man. Maybe it was time to separate, And I think the GM for the Bears, like you said, like I said, man, I don't think Justin Fields, this guy, he didn't draft him, and I think they have a little bit holding over their head because they had a draft pick a few years ago, earlier, where they could have drafted Mahomes, but took Trubisky.
Yeah.
So I think people keep saying Caleb Williams is Mahomes like I'm saying generation talent. So at least they go say, hey man, I drafted who people was talking about was a generation talent. If we lose with that, we lose with that.
I don't
Because
think
either
that's how
way,
that's not how you build a team, man. Who's making decisions? That's come on,
either
man.
they go, they got to win this year or they out of there.
Oh yeah, facts. All right.
Either
You mentioned that I put this on our list to talk about twice, so I wanted to discuss it. Saquon to the Eagles, man. I think that was the biggest transaction of the
yeah,
NFL, man. I don't know
so
how the Giants let him go. One of the Barber brothers was definitely upset at Saquon for leaving.
it was
Um,
Tiki, man.
T-
Rondé don't give a damn.
Tiki was hey, Tiki was upset, man. As a former running back with the Giants, man, he felt like Saquon shouldn't have left and when he got what he, rightfully deserved.
Man, people are crazy, dog.
Man,
Like, dog, people are really crazy, dog. Like, this man been trying to get paid from these folks, and they ain't want to pay him. And now you talking down to him, talking about loyalty. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, this man out here to feed his family, bro. He got it, bro. I get
how
what
many
you like.
injuries Saquon had?
Come on, man.
And
And how
came no
many
no
more
and came
contracts?
back from.
And how many more contracts is he gonna get after this one? Probably. Come on, man. That man got to cash in. I got a family to provide for, bro.
Man, that's what he deserved. Saquon is, I would say, the best running back in the NFL. From what I've seen. From what I've seen,
And McCaffrey.
and oh man, you're right. You did. McCaffrey can. I don't even know how he do a lot of the shit he do
And McCaffrey.
every Sunday. Every Sunday, dog. Is it the offensive line? It's a lot of. But he was doing it with the Panthers, so I can't say that. I can't say that. You're right. Him and McCaffrey. So those are the top two guys.
Yeah, and then you throw Derrick Henry in there.
But a lot of people, they feel like these running backs are, very,
Disposable.
very disposable, very disposable. I get it. You can find some guys but Saquon's, Christian McCaffrey's, Derrick Henry's, man, it's certain guys that just, play the game and compete at a different level. Pacheco,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Pacheco.
A healthy Dalvin Cook.
Healthy Dalvin Cook, you put him up there.
Yes. Are you serious? Oh man.
I mean, so what
People
year is
be
it?
forgetting
What
about
year is this?
Dalvin Cook.
What year is this for Dalvin?
Dalvin
Is it
came in.
what's the
Uh,
six?
Dalvin. So when we left, Dalvin came in as a freshman at Florida State. Then he left as a junior. So he should be like 5 to 6 years behind. So it
Yeah,
might be like year 5 or 6.
man.
The beast, man. Just another guy that stays injured,
So
man.
do a lot of these teams feel like, man, just with the market, we can go get a running back. They disposable. Let's go grab somebody else who can tote this pill.
I don't really believe that running backs are disposable, man. I just feel like they don't want to pay him. I mean, look at the national. I mean, I'm about to say national. Look at the Super Bowl. I mean, you had two good running backs. You had two good running backs, bro. You got to run the ball.
I'm saying
You
though,
got.
is it just a lot of good running backs out here where
Is there a lot?
you can
I mean, how hard is the? I mean, no knock to those guys, but how hard is the running back position?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How hard is it?
I think that's the conversation there. That's why they letting a lot of these running backs go. Because we just named 8 running backs who we would take any day, right? Just give me one of them. But then you still got, Swift. You still got Swift. Like you would have to throw in that conversation. So I think a lot of teams,
I'm not throwing
dude,
Swift in, boys.
you wouldn't
I'm
throw.
not throwing Swift in with that. Nah,
What about Nick Chubb?
I'm throwing Chubb in there.
You throw
Healthy
Chubb
Chubb.
in there. What about the young kid out of Seattle?
Taylor. I'm throwing Taylor in there. Jonathan
Jonathan
Taylor.
Tate. What about the kid out of Seattle? Walker, Kenneth Walker.
I think
No,
I think he was Swift. I like him though. I like him. He on that set though.
tier two guy, a
Yeah.
tier two guy. But you get what I'm saying? Like as an organization, you might feel like, man, it's a lot of running backs out here, man, that don't have to pay us guy as much. Pay a guy. We'd rather pay a DN. We'd rather pay a cornerback. We'd rather pay a, you know, a quarterback.
I
Um,
get it. But if your offense so heavy based around running, like Tennessee Titans was, like, bro, I'm paying Derrick Henry.
yeah, but that's changing. I think you got Will Levy. He I think is the quarterback.
But they got a new GM now.
Yeah, and they let the head coach go.
So
So
it's
I
a
think
different.
I think it's an entirely different ball game over there. Who they just signed? We was talking
Man,
about
they
it,
just
man.
signed TP from Dallas. On the Pollard.
Yeah, for sure. To run, but the receiver Calvin,
Oh, Calvin
right?
Ridley. Yeah.
They went and got Calvin, paid good money to and well
They,
deserved.
well,
How
they
did
paid Calvin.
Jacksonville? How did Jacksonville let Calvin Ridley go after last year?
Hey man, I don't. Man, they gave that boy 100 million. I ain't think he would get that.
For
You know what I'm
sure,
saying? The money, bro. I thought he would get like a maybe a 50 to 60 piece.
he had some breakout games last year, though, man.
Man, that boy got 100. But hey, man, congrats, brother. Get your money.
Yeah,
Still couldn't compete with that, man. They got people to pay. I guess Trevor Lawrence coming up, which I think Trevor Lawrence is really overrated. Like, I think he's so overrated, man. They put up his numbers. He had dang near the same numbers like Daniel Jones, and he got way better weapons. And another thing about Daniel Jones, man, they were saying get Daniel Jones some actual receiving threats, and let's see what he can really do.
yeah,
And I kind of was like,
yeah.
I
That's
want to see
facts.
for a year at least. You know what I'm saying? Okay,
Yeah,
that's a good. He hasn't had, no slack to those receiver, man. You're a professional receiver, man. No slack to you. But, as far as like having game changers at receiver, what I'm saying? I think his best receiver was Darius Slayton. Shout out Darius Slayton, Rivalry University.
yeah,
That was his best receiver, number one. I think Darius Slayton is a 3-2 guy. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? A good ass three or a solid ass two.
yeah.
Not a one guy. And there's no slack to him, man. He's a great player, but it's some guys that are just different, man. The Jamar Chases, the Justin Jeffersons, the Devontae Adams, the Keenan Allens. Like, there are certain guys that are just different, bro. They cannot be guarded.
The
And
Giants, they hadn't had a receiver since they let Odell go, bro. You're right.
they
So, and again, Slayton been stepping up to the plate week in, week out. I mean, and really playing, throughout the season. I think he was injured a little bit last year, but when you think about receiving core, that's really all you had. You finally got Waller over, great tight end pickup, but him and Daniel Jones, they weren't able to play with each other much last year with the injury. So uh
got they got a little speed. Jalen
Hyatt, I
Hyatt,
like Hyatt. Yep, yep. But again, is that a one guy?
no
You
sir.
need you need some size. You need a receiver who can really be a threat. Has Mike Williams been picked up?
Man, Tampa ain't let that dude take nothing out of the locker room. They locked him up.
No, 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 not Mike Evans. Mike
Oh,
Williams.
I'm tripping. You said
No,
Williams.
no,
Yes,
no.
he
Yeah, Mike
with the
Williams.
Jets.
The,
He
the
with the
Jets.
Jets. I'm
Okay,
tripping.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
he with the
No,
Jets.
no, no.
Nah,
I'm with you. Okay, that's a good pickup too.
it is.
That's
It
a
is.
good
He stay
pickup.
hurt though. He got to prove something.
I know, man. I like Mike Williams, but I
Jets
think
going all in, man. They going all in for A-Rod. I think A-Rod got one more year on his contract. They going all in. They getting some weapons.
they got it, man. They got a solid team.
So,
Picked up Tyrod Smith out of Dallas, right?
yep, on the line.
Tackle,
They just traded
protecting.
for Hassan Reddick, defensive end out of the Eagles.
All right. Oh, that's a yeah. And D
That's
line, their defense front seven was already nice. So seeing them add another pass rusher, I'm sure help them boys out. What do you think about? They got Brock Bowers projected to go to the Jets.
He's
Um,
an animal. He's an
yeah.
animal. I like Brock Bowers.
See, I'm a fan of CJ Uzama, man. So he's currently on
I
the
know.
roster. Shout out ZJ, man.
Man, the main one that I was upset about that people keep telling me, man, that it's a good pickup, man, is freaking Kirk Cousins to the Atlanta Falcons. Y'all know I wanted Fields. Y'all know I wanted Atlanta Falcons. I mean, not Atlanta Falcons. I wanted Cam Newton. Guys that I know could put butts in the seats, man, and get the crowd going. And you know what I'm saying? Because that's really what it's about. At the end of the day, it's about the bottom line. Because only one team can win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And they gave Kirk Cousins, was it 100? Was it 100? 180 mil, almost 200 mil for 4 years. Kirk Cousins has one playoff win. And you know when it was? It was back when he said, "You like that." That was about
Four
8 years ago.
4 years, 180 mil. Sorry to cut you off.
4 years, 180 mil. That's almost 50 mil a year. That's
Mm.
probably like 45, I think. It's like 45 million a year. He has one playoff. He's coming off an Achilles injury, and he's like 36. Only Atlanta would do something dumb like that. Like, come on, bro. Y'all tired of all this capping, bro. Like, did we really have to get him that? Is he really pushing the needle that far to give him that? Because we could have got so many more pieces.
What are these GMs? What are these owners thinking?
Man, it's about connections, bro. It's all about connections, top down,
Is it
man.
it's political? Is it political?
Man, it's always political, man. That's what people don't
Mm.
understand. Raheem came in. Raheem was with uh Kirk Cousins when he got drafted to the
Okay.
Washington Redskins. All right.
Okay.
All those boys come under the tree of
Talk to me.
Shanahan.
Talk
All
to
right.
me.
They was out there. And Raheem came from the Rams with McVay. McVay was under Shanahan at
Yeah.
Redskins. Raheem's OC came from the Rams under McVay.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. It's connection, bro. It's connection. Don't think it's just people just getting in the fridge. Oh, we go get this guy. Oh man, it's only a certain couple plays he could have won. It's only a
Mm.
certain couple plays, and he hit the jackpot on Atlanta, bro. Kirk Cousins is like top
How
3 to
did
5.
Atlanta not hit the jackpot and sign Cam Newton? That, in my opinion, again, we may sound crazy. I may sound crazy. I got all of this Auburn stuff behind me right now, so I'm a Cam, supporter, fan. Feel like he a good ball player. Could change the Falcons within a signature. I mean, what's the energy right now when you think about social media? When you think about just the fan base, if they were to sign a Cam Newton, how
People
quick
will
does
be
that?
out there, bro.
You
People
think
will be
about
out there.
when you think on average, what do you think? And again, I don't really care to pocket watch. What do you think Cam's contract could have been to sign a 2 year or 1 year? Two?
Uh,
You think
one
two
year,
to five?
1 year they could have signed Cam for like 8 million.
Okay.
They probably would
Versus
try to disrespect him. They probably
okay,
would try to
okay,
disrespect him.
but let's say he agrees to it, says he's ready to
He's
get
gonna
back
agree
to it.
to it.
No,
Gonna agree
I'm
to
just,
it.
yeah, for sure, for
Mhm.
sure. But I don't want to speak for nobody. But let's just say he agreed to it. When you compare that 8 mil to that 180, as you just mentioned, the pieces that you could put around that, the excitement, the butts and seats, the revenue generated.
Yeah.
Oh man, it would have been Atlanta. The first game would have been a movie.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, the practices, they had the open practices where the fans could come out. They could have got Cam Newton or Justin Fields traded for him, saved the money and went in and went and got another receiving threat. T. Higgins hit the board, wanted to get paid. They could have had T. Higgins, Drake London, and Bijan Robinson and Pitts at tight end.
Yeah.
They could have went that direction. And still, I think they should have got both of them. To be honest, Cam Newton and Justin Fields, and had Justin sit behind them for a year or
So
whatnot.
kind of pulled off what Pittsburgh did, but with honestly and save more money.
You save more money, man.
Save more
But,
money.
I don't want to get into too much, man, because I got some thoughts that don't need to be said on here. How that transpired, but it is what it is, man. So, guys gonna get more targets. I think that's what they want, but I don't think that I don't think it pushed the needle over the top. I think Tampa Bay still wins the NFC South. With Baker Mayfield, they signed Baker Mayfield to a nice little deal.
Yeah.
I think they still win the South. I think they need to put some more pieces around him, though. I know they retained Mike Evans and they still got Godwin. I don't know what they have at the tight end. I thought I saw them moving up to take Bowers. On one Western, and I really like that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about their running back, Rashad White?
Man, I think he proved himself last year. I think Todd Bowles trust him.
Okay.
I think they
We'll keep,
trust him. But nah, I'm with you. I think a tight end pickup is you got to surround Baker with more right now. Because again, we believe in Mike Evans, but can he continue to produce and be 1,000 yard receiver? I seen a stat, bro. They said he might be like the only receiver in the past so many years to consistently be 1,000 yard receiver. but can he continue to do that? Godwin has been consistent for the past since Tom Brady was over there. So that's 3 years. Man, consistency is hard, dog. We know it for guys to be consistent year over year. I think you got to surround him with more. But even more importantly, dog, I think that the loss of Carlton, I think gonna hurt on defense. I think he's played some good ball since he's been in Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
Um,
I also needed a fresh start though.
think so.
Fresh start somewhere else where he feel like, man, I got a grind to get in. I feel like I'm not gonna say complacency, but
Oh
a
yeah,
little
he
bit
he
of
was the
comfort.
guy. He was the number one.
So I feel like he needs a fresh start. He needs to move, get out of his comfort zone. You know, from he's Florida guy from Florida. So I think he needs to go off somewhere and really refocus and start the thing back over because he came in really locking stuff up. And I just want to see him get back there. So I think it's a good trade. Hard nosed Detroit line, play good ball, defense. I think he'll fit right in.
Man, me too. Me too. Got a dome, ain't got to play outside. I was thinking about that when he got signed. I was like, before he went to Detroit, I know he was glad they was in a dome. Like, I ain't going to Detroit. Them folks playing outside, man. So, nah, I think Carlton gonna bring a lot to the Detroit defense. They already was solid, man. Secondary was suspect. They got a young secondary. Um, they got a young secondary. I forget the safety last year played some good ball, but um, yeah, like what Detroit's doing. Back to your point, like Rashad White. Um, but you got to surround Baker with more right now. You got to surround him with more. What other offseason pickups was surprising? I'm trying to think.
Another thing is the Saints released Michael Thomas. He can get picked up by somebody, but another off-season pickup. Oh man, we got to pull them transactions up, man.
Yeah. I
It was
think
some.
Dallas picked up a linebacker, Kendricks, I believe, from
Yeah,
Minnesota, which they hadn't done much in the offseason, but
solid.
I
I
thought that
don't
was
think it.
you don't
I
think
don't
it
think it.
matters? Don't
It's
move the
solid
needle
pickup.
at
It's
all.
solid.
Yeah.
He a good player. He's a solid
They
player, but
they
I mean,
that was a must have, like you said, because the other linebackers, I think he got an injury. What is it,
Van Der Esch, yeah, he retired.
Vanderish? So he's done. That was a must have pickup. That was a must
So,
have pickup. So now I'm with you.
another one,
Um,
man. Throw out here the chance, Kansas City Chiefs, man, picking up Hollywood,
they just
Hollywood
keep getting
Brown.
better. They just keep getting better, dog. They keep getting better. Did they lose anybody?
Yeah,
Chris
they lost
Jones,
LeJarry Sneed. LeJarry Sneed.
Snead.
Now they paid Jones.
Okay, okay,
They lost Sneed to the Titans. So,
okay.
but I think that's gonna be a great pickup, man. Hollywood Brown can still stretch that field, and Mahomes will get it to him. And you got Rice underneath, and you still got Kelsey, man. So he fit right in. He fits right on in there.
I haven't looked at it, but I'm curious to see what Rice's numbers were last year, bro. I think he won like one of the best receivers in the league, but just like low key because he playing with Mahomes. Yards after catch every game, I felt like he just went off. I'm curious to see what his numbers look like last year. Um, big receiver, kind of not afraid to go across the middle. Mahomes gonna put it on you, so you can just be a tough receiver, run around and keep moving with him. He'll find you. So I'm excited to
Speaking
see
of
what Rice do.
another running back that we forgot about, man, big pickup for the Houston Texans, man, Joe Mixon. Signed Joe
Uh,
Mixon contract.
yeah, yeah. I like Joe. I like Joe. I think that I'm curious to see what they do with Singletary now.
You ain't been watching Singletaries in New York.
Singletary's in New York.
He's in New
Let
York. John.
Singletary go. I think they got better then. You pick up Joe. Um, Hey, I didn't know Singletary went to New York, man. There's been a lot of moves this offseason, man.
Connection. Remember the New York head coach with the OC and the Bills and Singletary with the Bills.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense, man. Make it make sense. Like you said, you got to know somebody. Yeah, these coaches go and find their guys who they feel like will fit into the locker room. But again, Singletary, bringing Singletary with Saquon leaving, I don't think that helps your team out. I don't think they help the team out. In Houston, you bring in Joe. I think that they'll use him. Obviously, head coach. Um,
It definitely go you, man.
man, they're
It
gonna
definitely
they're gonna use Joe. They're
like
gonna use
Houston.
Joe.
I like
Yeah,
Houston.
Houston got weapons. It seemed like out of no like out of one season, just everywhere. You get what I'm saying? They got weapons. They got
They
weapons.
hit. Then they hit in the draft, man. Started off with the head coach, man. Shout out to him, man. They did an excellent job, excellent pickup, man. He's an excellent leader of men. All
Yep.
right, it started
Yep.
with him. All right,
And that's the most
then
important thing.
yeah, and they can relate to him. So then he got in the draft, man. The draft they picked up a franchise quarterback for 10 to 15 years, C.J. Stroud. They got a Russian and Will Anderson. Then
Yep.
they found a gem and receiver with Tank Dell. They found a gem with him. Who else I'm missing? Oh, who else I'm missing? I feel like I'm missing somebody else. Another guy
Not
they
from
got
the
at
draft. You got Collins, but he wasn't a part of that draft.
he wasn't, but Collins is stepping up, man. He's gonna get paid. He's gonna get paid. They got a lot of solid receivers. I don't know if they're. I think Collins is an A minus to B plus type receiver. He's not on the level of Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, and all them, but they
For
got
sure.
good core. And now you add Joe Mixon to that. They got a good tight end, Dalton Schultz.
Yep.
Um, they got cornerback Stingley. Like I like them, bro. I like them.
Yep.
What I wanted to see, I wanted to see Patrick Queen go to the Houston Texans.
Why is that?
I knew Baltimore wasn't gonna be able to pay him, and I felt like the Houston Texans was the next right team for him. I knew they was gonna let other guy go. I can't remember his name right now. He came out of Miami. He went back to the Chargers. I cannot think of his name right now, but he was hard hitting. But I wanted to see Patrick Queen go to and play up under oh man, D'Amico Ryan's in that defense, man. I just felt like he would have flourished in that defense, yo. I feel like he would have flourished. And putting him with the other guy, Anderson, other speed guy, 48, Anderson, they would have
Alabama.
been sideline to sideline.
Yeah.
Christian Harris, not Christian Harris. Christian Harris. So putting them together, sideline to sideline. You got secondary, you got young secondary with Stingley, Petrie.
I'm looking now. Did they pick up Jimmy Ward? Jimmy Ward wasn't there last year, right?
They had Jimmy Ward, they had Jimmy
Jimmy
Ward,
Ward play? All right.
and they signed Everson Griffin to a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another defense. He put it together, man. They
Yeah.
watch out for Houston.
Yeah.
All right,
Houston
watch
gonna
out
be
for Houston.
nice, man. And like you said, the most important factor, man, is having a head guy who's a great leader of men, because that's what you need. Um, Going back to the Russ situation, I feel like that, in my opinion, that was the mistake. That was the big mistake. I don't know if you got a leader of men over there right now, because he wouldn't have did Drew Brees like that. You'll never see the head guy in Houston kind of, handle his guys like that, man. Certain amount of respect. Um, and with that, this defense gonna fly around. They young too, bro. You just named
Yeah.
out a lot of these guys. They young team. So yeah, watch out for Houston.
Um,
They look, yeah, they look good.
Houston draft this year, man. See if they can get some good draft. I'm trying to think of what are their needs. I don't think they really have needs on the offensive side. Maybe continue
Maybe
to
O
build.
line, yeah, you can go interior. You can build out the O line. I think continue to. We just talked about it. Front seven, defensively is one of the most important things in the NFL, man. You got to have some linebackers who can cover in space. You got to have some guys on the front four where you can rush with four and get home. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Win in the interior. That's important. It's
And they
important.
got two up front already. Everson Griffin and Will Anderson. That's two for sure. I don't know the
Yep.
interior defensive tackle guys, but they got two
Yep.
already.
Yep.
Maybe
I
they look
see.
there and
I,
they look at linebacker.
yeah. Yeah, man. I'm looking at some Autry. I think he came from like the Titans.
Oh, Nico. Oh man, they got the Nico. They got another guy,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Nico
the Nico
Autry.
where he come
Crazy
from?
story, man. The Nico Autry out of Mississippi State. This
Fact.
was my this was my roommate in the NFL
Yeah.
when we first got to the league. Like this was my roommate.
Is he
Right?
a dog? Was that a great pickup?
It was an excellent pickup, bro. The
Yeah.
Nico is a player, man. He's been around the league watching. So what crazy is we went to Green Bay together,
Uh-huh.
and he ended up getting cut within the first like week or two because he had a knee injury that they
Injury.
found. And they told him, man, hey man, go rehab, you know what I'm saying? Come back, you know what I'm saying? We'll sign you back.
Yeah.
He went off rehab and ended up getting picked up by somebody else. Man, he been in the league ever since, man. It's year 10. Danico Autry is a baller. Danico,
So
bro, what's up?
yeah. They putting it together then, like you just said, interior. So and with that, you bring I'm sure leadership. How many years he been in the league?
Yeah, 10.
10
Yeah.
years, man. You bring a vet guy in. Yeah, yeah, man. I'm liking it even more, man. I might put in a little future bet, man.
Yeah,
Texans to
man.
win it all next year, man. I'm sure they probably like plus 1,000.
Watch them, bro. They go be. I think I gotta watch Baltimore a little bit, but I think they might have jumped over Baltimore and been a real contender against the Chiefs, man. Lamar has to get over that hump mentally, bro. He has to. And until he can, the real contender, I think, it will be the Houston Texans with the Chiefs.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I don't know if the Ravens really. I like to pick up with Henry, obviously, when you talk
Mhm.
about namesake, man. But
They D tackled in Baku or something. They kept
yeah,
him, which is a good pickup. But they lost Queen, um, Odell. Um, I think they have a tight end controversy on their hands too, man.
I don't think
I
it's a
think
bad one though. I don't think it's a bad one because likely can do a lot. Likely can split out a little bit more for you. You can play both of them on the field actually at the same time.
you can, but I think they should have kept Likely starting when Mark Andrews came back because he was
Wow.
playing so well. He was
Yeah.
playing so well that it kind of threw off when they threw Mark Andrews back in there in the playoff game. It kind of threw off what was going on, and I think they should have just did that. Like, hey, you can go work you in second, but then like maybe in the offseason put him back at first. But
Yeah.
Likely was playing hard. He was balling. I think he might have scored. I think he might
He
have
had three
scored maybe
touchdowns in a game.
That's what I'm saying.
He
Like
scored three in a game, I think. Like
he was
some
playing good
crazy.
ball. He was playing
Yeah.
good ball. So,
Yeah.
but
I
then,
worry about my Ravens, man. I'm a fan. You know, like I say, anybody want to see me in Madden, you're gonna definitely see them Ravens. Um, but I don't know how much better they got with just bringing Henry in. You know, I think he's a hard runner. I know they want to kind of have that threat in the zone read scheme, but man, you had some
it was
again.
already
You had some guys that was running last year.
yeah,
You know, from a rushing standpoint, did they lead the league in rushing last year? Maybe.
they did.
They
They
yeah.
did.
So man, I don't know, man. You got to get him some receivers. I think that Baltimore defense. You still got to strengthen up. You don't have. I think Clowney's gone now. Um,
Clowney is gone to the Panthers. That's
yeah,
another big.
Clowney gone. We both know, bro. Like again, getting to them big shows and not being able to close the deal, it's rough, man. You got to live with it. It's rough.
Rough, man, and it's and ain't too many people go just beat Mahomes when you got the chance to, man. You got to do it, bro. You got to make it happen. And he had the chance to. He had him in this place. Both of them, man. Mahomes, man, all they did was make his resume better, man. He went on the road and beat Josh Allen, then went and beat Lamar. Mm, that
Man,
was a good.
man. And I don't think he's slowing down.
that was a
Don't think
good
he's
one.
slowing down at all. All right. So moving along, man, we got the draft again. April 25th, draft night, man. It's gonna change a lot of these kids' lives, man.
Mm,
What you think about the talent right now? What you think about first round? I know we touched on this, but quarterback wise, I see a big sleeper in this quarterback draft. If I gave you a guess as far as what I was thinking, you probably could guess my quarterback sleeper of this draft, man. So,
man.
what's your initial thoughts on the quarterback class, the talent right now from a receiving standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
um, and even some guys who may be coming out of Auburn that we're thinking of.
I uh I think it's another receiver draft, heavy draft of prospects, man. That seemed like the easiest position to get off at now, man. These guys are catch for all these yards now, man. It's turning into passing league. You know, they run these 4.3s and 4.2s, man. It's just I don't even know how receivers even getting re-signed now because there's so many receivers that's coming out, man. So many receivers. As far as the quarterbacks, they're gonna look good. You know what I'm saying? As far as hey, they talking about man, it's the best quarterback class, but in reality, one or two of them may pan out. One or two of them. And I know you think Bo Nix is the guy that's gonna be whatever, but I just don't see it happening. I think that out of the ones that's drafted early, which would be um, Caleb Williams, Drake May,
LSU
Jaden
quarterback.
Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels would be the best. And I think I'm going to give you a reason why I think he's going to go to the Washington Commanders, who I think out of those three teams has the best foundation, foundation for him, weapons wise, coach wise, culture wise. I think they had the best. They got Coach Dan Quinn over there, and
Mhm.
his OC is Cliff Kingsbury. You know what I'm saying? I know Cliff Kingsbury doesn't have the best of track records, but he has worked with top tier quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I think he'll go there because I know they probably want to get Caleb unless Jaden goes first, which I don't see because everybody's been pushing Caleb.
Yeah,
I think Jaden Daniels is in the best position, man. He has some good receivers. Uh, he has a good running back in Robinson. He has McLaren at receiver, Dotson.
yeah,
He has
yeah,
some solid receivers, and I'm sure they're going to do more in the draft. Um,
yeah,
so I'm gonna go with him as one of the quarterbacks that are gonna do well as in the early draft picks. Then I'm gonna go with Michael Penix. Um, both of these guys are older guys, developed and played years in college, at least 5 years in college. So when they come into the league, I think they'll be more settled than the rest of these guys. You could say that's a pro for Bo Nix. Man, he's seen a lot of ball. He's played a lot of games. Um, but the style of play he's played in, man, it's just been so easy because he's had athletes that have been so much superior over the other athletes, and I think he has guys that just be running wide open. So I really want to see what it's like to have guys that's not running as wide open, or he has to actually make reads through progressions and see if he really can do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he can. I'm not saying he can, but I'm interested to see if he can do it.
man,
So the two guys I'm going to pick is Michael Penix, who I think will fall in late in the draft and be like Lamar Jackson and go to the right situation.
yeah.
And I'm going with Jaden Daniels.
Okay, no, I like it, bro. I think Michael Penix is the best talent in this draft. Just pure talent, raw talent. Again, I love the way the ball come out his hands, bro. On no Diddy, you know what I'm saying? With the left, I love I love the way he throwing. He got that left the release on it. But I definitely think again, Bo Nix will be the best quarterback of this draft, man. I'm curious to see where he goes. Um, I was thinking through it when you was talking. I was like the Patriots, but they got Brissett. I think Jacoby Brissett is a
Need to go to the Patriots.
don't need to go to the Patriots. Um, but I'm curious to see where Bo Nix ends up. I think he's
Bo
ready
Nix
to play
going
some ball.
I can see him going to like Dallas or Broncos.
Oh man, I can see him. I can see Bo Nix honestly being the most ready to go quarterback day one. That's how I feel. Day one, when you think about training camp, rookie camp, I think Bo Nix is the one who can command the offense, who can come in and lead a unit. So yeah,
Probably
definitely
so.
a fan of both. Man, when you think about Washington, you talk about just the what the surrounding pieces. So I pulled up kind of who they signed, bro. They got Austin Eckler, nice pickup from a running back standpoint to help with
Yep.
Robinson. Third
Yep.
down back. Essentially,
Yep.
Austin Eckler probably be a third down back. Um, they picked up Zach Ertz because I was
Mm.
thinking about Logan Thomas. So they got better at the tight end position. I'm sure they'll let Logan Thomas go. And they picked up Bobby Wagner defensively.
Linebacker.
That don't hurt. That'll never
Again,
hurt you.
connections. He back with Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn was out of Seattle as DC.
Makes
Connection.
sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. And you get better. Day one, you get better. Day one, you get better there. So yeah, I think Washington is a team to look out for. If they can find the right piece at quarterback, that's what it all comes down to right now. And they
I
need
mean,
somebody ready to go day one. If what's the kid from LSU?
Jaden Daniels,
If Jaden Heisman winner, no disrespect, Heisman didn't he win the Heisman? Right?
Heisman winner.
It's Heisman winner.
Numbers
Heisman
was
winner.
better. Numbers was better than Joe Burrow.
Man, yeah, I heard him say something about that, man. Just being able to come in and do what he did after Joe Burrow's era was definitely impressive. But is he hurt if he has to come like just career wise? Does it help him or hurt him having to come in day one and play in the NFL for the Commanders? Or do we see a Bryce Young situation?
Does it hurt him or help him to come in to play? You mean CJ Stroud situation?
No, I mean, so from a sense of going to a good team, I mean, do you feel like they have enough for him to come in and not get I don't want to say exposed, but shit destroyed in this league? If you come in as a rookie, you think he's ready to go if he gets drafted by the Commanders, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I think out of those quarterbacks, him and Penix is the most ready to go quarterbacks.
All right.
I think he's most ready. Yeah, I think he's most ready. And they still have to add some more pieces, which they will in the draft. And possibly they could pick up some more. Like I said, man, Michael Thomas is still out there. They could pick up Michael Thomas, man. And and they could draft another one. I mean, this is it's a receiver heavy group. It's plenty of guys, man. From I can't even name all these guys.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like it's really crazy how many receivers go.
And you'll have receivers that you never heard of, bro. Like you said, man, just when you watching these receivers, young receivers, kids in college, whatever the case is, man, the route running is different. You know. Um,
This 7-on-7, man, has really taken off, man. That's why you see more developed receivers and quarterbacks. And I mean, as far as running backs,
yeah,
you see more receivers. We didn't have a 7-on-7. People would be developing later, but it's so many reps, getting in so many reps, man. These guys are taking off.
yeah. What do you think about the 7-on-7 um at the high school level?
Man, 7-on-7 has almost turned into AAU football.
Yeah,
Like these kids really be putting in like getting signed from doing the 7-on-7. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Guys didn't really come to high school basketball games like that. Big coaches, unless you was big time. You know what I'm saying? They usually go to the AAU games. You know what I'm saying? Um, but 7-on-7 is good, man. Getting those kids those extra reps. These kids having these teams now. Cam Newton as a team. It's just interesting to see. I actually haven't been to a 7-on-7, but people ask me to start me a 7-on-7. I'm just like, man, people really are investing into this 7-on-7 stuff.
hmm.
So
Man, it's huge. The reason I asked, bro, what you thought about it, because it's huge out here, um, in Dallas, bro. I mean, you got big time 7-on-7 camps. They got the not OTE. I forget the name of it, but they got essentially, you know, these big time brands putting on these 7-on-7 camps across
mhm,
the country. Um,
mhm,
and yeah, these kids are getting signed for it. They got rankings now. I think basically like how Rivalry used to rank film. I
yep.
think they ranking kids for 7-on-7. Um, so yeah, man, I got a 13-year-old, man. I was definitely thinking about putting them in one of these 7-on-7 teams, man, just to go out, like you said, get extra work. Don't hurt, don't hurt, don't
Don't
hurt,
hurt.
don't hurt. You competing, especially if that's something that you want to improve on and improve your craft. You got to work on it. One of my old teammates, Brandon Carr, he got a 7-on-7 team right here in McKinney. So, um, man, I definitely think you should start you one up, bro. The Ferrari squad. Hey, that's gonna go hard. Let's go, Ferrari squad, man. 7-on-17 coming, man. So, hey, any of you youngsters around the country, man, hit up my boy. Send in your film.
Send
Send in your
it.
film, man. We finna
Look,
start this thing up, man. Uh, First matchup gonna be against the Cam Newton squad. We going to that camp right there. Whatever camp they at, that's what we gonna pull up to, man. We ready to compete.
man, speaking of Cam Newton at the 7-on-7, man, what's going on with Cam out there? God, they ain't coming to blows with people,
Man,
man.
listen. I know we on this, warm up with rivalry. We're gonna keep everything professional. But man, they ain't have to try my boy like that, man. They doing too much. We both know Cam character, man. That ain't how he move. You know what I'm saying? We done seen him, get in the back and forth, competitive wise. He ain't never really wanted to put no hands on nobody. So man, sad situation. Definitely not surprised. Um, Pride and ego. It's a tough thing. You know what I'm saying? Pride and
Yeah.
ego is tough, especially when it comes to competing in sports. You get what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Me, you, few of our homeboys, we could go and play basketball right now.
Mm.
It's gonna get competitive. and we 30 plus years old. You in shape. I ain't in shape no more. But at the end of the day, man, when you got, you bring the competitiveness in it. I think I said that right. And he said he knew them guys. I watched, his response. He said he knew them guys before, man. So uh I hate it had to happen, man. I'm glad nothing was too serious. Like the way he handled himself afterwards. Definitely like the way he handled himself in the situation. You know what I'm saying? But man, blessings to him, dog.
Blessings.